Stream is live. Vinny is space. So we're back. We're back to Astroneer. It's been a little while. Took a week off because we had some schedule difficulties, but I've been excited to return because we just got to a new planet, and we're gonna have a nice chill stream. After this, there will be more Baba. Possibly the final Baba is you stream. But while we're doing this, Astroneer, I have some special guests. Well, the usual guests. It's Mono and Dave. Hi, lads.
Gnorts, Mr. Alien. I mean, hello.
Hey there, Dave here.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're trying to distance yourself.
Just a little.
It's hey y'all, for the record. You know. I'm in game, so you know, you guys can join whenever you're ready. And I'm on weird red planet. Let's see, so the Daves are here. What are you doing, Dave?
Davy.
Davy Jones's locker. Actually, Davy Jones is David Bowie's real name. Did you know that?
Really?
Mm-hmm. And David Bowie wrote about space, and space is the place, and we're there now. It all goes back. It's, you know, from one Dave to another to space.
What if when humanity returns to the moon that we find out that David Bowie has actually been there ever since he left Earth? And it was all part of a big conspiracy.
You would find that out as the ARG master, I believe.
And it's connected to the David Bowie video game. What was that, like the Internet Bowie experience from like the 90s?
Oh god, the one that I played on Sunday stream. Not Omicron, but the other one.
It was like the David Bowie web space. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't Omicron, it was something else.
Was it a game or was it his website?
It was just like a fan experience. It wasn't really like a specific game, if I remember correctly.
Okay, because I've streamed a David Bowie game based on his early 90s output, which was just rough. And I also, he had a web zone, he had a web space that was like BowieNet, and he used to post, he used to shit post in his own forums.
That's right, he would like scold his own members and like give them a telling.
Yeah, he would. But it's funny because that was in 1999, around the time Worlds was released, and he was like kind of this, in some ways, pioneer of internet nonsense. So, but anyway, we're gonna do. Hang on a second. Whoa, I'm falling forever. Already a glitch. All right. So who am I with right now? Who is this?
Dave.
This is which Dave? Dave 1 or Dave 2?
It's
Dave?
the other Dave.
Alright. Someone just said Queen had a game too. I have the Queen game, and it doesn't work, I don't think, and if it worked, it would just get content claimed anyway.
Do you remember the Devo game and how absolutely ridiculous it was?
No.
You streamed it, I'm pretty sure. I think it was Devo.
I streamed the Residence game.
Maybe that was it.
Was it? Did I? Oh, Spud Patrol. Yeah, Spud Patrol. It was a Devo game. Wow.
It was mental.
I try not to think about that too much, Mono.
Glad I could be here for it.
Yeah. Okay, so goals today for the stream. What are we doing? We got to this new planet, and I think we want to find the materials that are native to this planet.
Well, I'm on the moon still, because I'm unlocking the core, because I had to get one of the surface relay things in order to open the core up. So, and I think you chose the branching decision option in this dynamic game to go follow Dave to the other planet. So I'm still here on the moon, and I can finish this off. So I don't know, you could decide whatever you want.
Okay, so you do that. Dave, Cap, and I will... I guess we need to establish more of a base. This base is kind of poop.
Yeah, we definitely want to build a base here because this is where you get the most hematite used for iron, and that's like the thing that we need the most for building a whole bunch of new shit.
Okay. So let's do that then. That sounds good. Let me drop some organic down here. So, okay, we need a 3D printer. Right
So we got a small printer here.
You're right. 1 second, I gotta make you louder on this. Okay. So you got a small one, and now we need a medium. All right, so you got that one, and then medium is 2 compound. Let's have a competition. Whoever find 2 compound first win. And
Compoundition?
why?
That's why I'm on the moon by myself.
You know, it's worse because I know I say the same stupid shit, but I never have to hear it, like, said back to me.
It'll be the last time that I'm on the stream, probably.
Until the next Astroneer, yes. Or possibly until the next Grand Theft Auto game, Grand Theft Auto 6, comes out.
It could be the, I always forget the name of it, but one of the founders of Rockstar, like, split off and is making his own game that... God, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure someone in chat knows it, but it's been very kept quiet, except that he hired loads of people, and it's using the Lumberyard engine, like Amazon's custom game engine.
Fuck, Amazon has a game engine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a spin-off of the Crysis engine, or the Crytek engine. I don't know anything else other than that.
Car Larceny is the name of the game, I guess.
There was, I don't know the name of the guy, one of the Rockstar people. He was in an interview and asking about his new game, and he said something like he wants to take the series back to its like narrative roots or something like that. So it's not going to be crazy car driving stuff. It sounds like it's just going to be an extremely large world that is very focused on like the individual lives of people more so than like crimes at large.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say those games are still extremely narratively heavy, to the point where people complain about it because you have 2 different types of game. You know, you're playing Red Dead 2 and you have the open world game, and then it switches over and it's like, oh, now I'm in mission mode. So
Yeah.
that was a common complaint because of the story being so. I mean, it's a good story, but it seems almost disparate and separate from the actual game itself. So maybe if they're going to try to unify that stuff, that could be cool.
Yeah, it sounded like it kind of came out of the idea that he was really displeased with the direction GTA was going, so now he wants to like take his own take on it. And you can actually sign up to be a tester for whatever ends up happening on their website, but it's just so vague that it's like we don't even know.
I love almost dying. I always do this. I always fucking run out of oxygen like this. Does the oxygen filter use automatically? Oh, I made a tether bundle, not an oxygen filter. That's cool.
Yeah, the filter will.
What do you need for, not compound, right? For the...
Resin.
Oh, good.
And from the moon, I could see a tag that said suffocating, pointing to the planet like light years away.
Every time. First death of the stream. Wow, my dude just, like, poops himself out the top of the thing. But speaking of making games, how's that for a segue?
Oh, thanks, Vin.
What, I wasn't gonna talk about your game. I was just gonna say games are sure neat, aren't they? No, you're streaming yourself making a game lately.
Yeah, I just started today, actually. And I began making this game on Wednesday. And I figured, maybe people want to watch that. So now I'm just streaming it.
So the way you described it to me was it's a cookie clicker marble game. I'm kidding. No, that's not at all what you. I mean, there's an element of that, but tell the good people what you're doing, because I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's got a little idle aspect to it where you play the game and then it kind of plays itself. If anybody growing up in the 90s or the aughts knew of the marble run, it's sort of a thing that it was like a set of 20 pieces of slides that a marble could go down, and you could put the pieces in whatever arrangement you want and build a tower of slides. And then you put the marbles in the top and they all go down. I figure nobody's really made a good 2D version of that toy, so I wanted to make that something for your phone, something for your computer, and then make it free to play, and then add some kind of weird idle aspect to it, so that like as the marbles go down, like depending on what kind of pieces they go through, they'll get different amounts of points. You can use the points to buy more pieces, etc., etc. You can probably come up with some random idle game shit on your own, and something like that is what it'll end up being. But right now I'm focused on just making the toy. If I can get the toy working, it'll just be fun to play with.
Sounds kind of cool. I mean, I'm not gonna play it, but no, it sounds interesting, because I had a toy from the Liberty Science Center when I was a kid. That was it was like in water, and there was like a blue oil, and they turned into like little heavier beads, and they would go down the paths into different paths, and then you could try to get them into like little like fans and stuff, and then you'd flip it upside down and they would rise and then do the same thing.
I
Like
remember that.
not rise, but the bubbles would rise to the top, and the blue oil would go back to the bottom. And I remember there were more and more elaborate ones that you could make, or you could buy rather, and then there would be like various versions of the track. So are you talking about something like that?
That's pretty close, actually. Yeah. Just imagine if you could edit the track in that, and that's pretty much it.
Sounds kind of cool. Yeah.
I know I had that toy as a kid, and I remember the sound that it made was so distinct. So Dave, I hope you got good recording equipment to get that nostalgic, like 1,000 marbles falling down slide sound.
I honestly have no idea if I'm going to end up doing that, because in my head it was going to be like little cartoons. But who knows? Maybe that'll be something
Just
that you can
hire
pay
someone.
99 cents.
Hire someone to do all the sound effects with their mouth.
That was
Maybe not
also that was also in the design document. That's going to be a thing.
Oh. It's funny, there is one thing that happened on a Sunday stream one time that I could never get out of my fucking head. There's one noise. It probably happened about a year ago, maybe over a year ago, and it was this. That.
I know exactly what
I know,
that
we
was.
all do! God, I hate it. And it's just
And
the
you
two
had, like-
tongues going mental.
Yeah, and then you had Speed Luigi around that time, too.
That was about that, yeah.
So Dave, did you ever play Mountain?
Mountain.
It's a David O'Reilly game. He made Everything, the game.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
everything was cool.
But his first game was Mountain, which is an idle game where you literally just stare at a mountain and you just leave it open. And I left my stream going for 24 hours with Mountain once. This was like before I had any followers, so I felt okay just leaving my stream on, and it got a pretty big following. People just staring at rotating mountains.
I'm convinced though, you could probably have a cat on a webcam. Wait, you know what? No, that's happened before. Yes, you can pretty much
Yeah.
have anything at this point on a stream, and people would be fine with it.
There's a stream out there that's called something like, I'm using this to watch my dog, or something, and the camera is just their apartment and their dog, and you could just tune in and watch a dog sleep, 24 hours a day. And I'm sure they're making millions off it or somehow.
Heavily monetized dog stream.
Yeah, dogs and cats are the ultimate source of money. It's the only reason anyone would ever get them, get money out of it.
Yeah. John Lennon once said, "I'm an artist. Give me a fucking tuba, I'll get you something out of it." Right?
It's true.
Take your word for it.
That was that's a quote from the movie The Departed, and I don't know if John ever even said that, but I'd like to thank Jack Nicholson for implanting that in my head. Well, Marty Scorsese. Yeah. So anyway, let me just go ahead and ruin what you were talking about with that.
No, I didn't have anything else to say.
Oh, cool.
You guys
Had
ever heard of
a,
the show? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You ever heard of the show called Star Trek?
Get out of
No.
here. Have you ever heard of a movie called Lord of the Flies?
Yes.
I know the book.
Sucks to your ass bar. Isn't that the thing that he said? It was like the most
It
British
is.
phrase I've ever heard, and as a kid I could not understand what he was saying.
This is not enough power to open this.
Oh, one of those research things. It takes like 2 or 3, I think.
Funny thing is, when I heard of ASMR, I always just pronounced it ASMR because of Lord of the Flies.
You know ASCII text?
Yes.
In my head, I would never pronounce it like that, ever, until people started saying it like that, because I had read it first, and then eventually in my head it was just ASCII.
Right. I
I
know with
couldn't-
any kind of acronym like that, it's like a debate. Do you say it, or do you say the individual letters?
So the first time I ever saw that word, I had an ASCII pad, which was for the SNES. It had like a turbo switch and an auto switch and a slow motion switch on it. And because it was my first time seeing that word, for some reason my childish head thought that the SC was like a science kind of SC. So it was just ASCII pad.
Oh, that's even better.
Good. Nicely done. SNES Classic? No, I don't do the SNES thing. It's still SNES for me.
Yeah,
When
I always say
Yeah.
SNES, NES.
I also say GENESIS, because I don't know, that word doesn't seem real to me. The
Genesis?
Genesis, yeah. The Genesis convention. The ASCII stuff was funny because when I had a friend who broke my fish tank. Some may remember this story. I'm not going to go into it again, but wasn't much of a friend, but that's neither here nor there. He got left back. He got left back a grade, so
Good.
I think it was 6th grade that he showed up, in our grade. And anyway, so he was a hacker. He was a self-proclaimed hacker. He claimed that he hacked. Because he was weird, because he was like a skater dude, but also a hacker. And, he would make AOL progs. And he got me a virus one time by having me Google cool progs. But that's a different story as well. That's not this story. This story is about how he thought that the ASCII text was sick. Like, he thought it was dope. And, like, he would show me how dope it was because he would remember, like, the codes. Because you'd hold what? It was like you hold Alt, and then you press, like, 353, and then you get a thing. And then you let go of Alt, right?
In Windows, yeah.
In Windows, you can get ASCII, yeah, like, what's 355? 353. That's an A? That's not a cool one.
The one I would remember was 0254.
0255.
Because it makes a tongue out, so
Oh,
you
it
can make a
does.
smiley face with that.
So, Alt 858 is Z. Hang on. Alt 80085 is a cool one. Yeah. So
You know.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I had some of those
just-
codes memorized because he thought it was so super cool, and he had them memorized. So I thought, in order to be a cool hacker, you had to memorize those codes. Turns out you could just get like a little program, or even Windows itself had the thing that allowed you to, you know, you could just
Character
copy paste them. Yeah, the character map.
I was going to say that very process is used in several ARGs, where it's like if you just see a whole series of numbers, one of the things that you test just to see if it's related to a puzzle is to just try putting in those codes. And I can't remember what they're called. I think they call them alt codes or something.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it was alt codes.
Bless you.
The surprise Animal Crossing stream.
You sound fucking possessed, so bless you.
Thanks. This is a nightmare trying to open this. Even 3 small generators isn't doing it.
Yeah,
That
it
is a
gets more
nightmare.
difficult the further away from Earth or Sylvie or whatever you get. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Is I need to power up this like relay station thing, and I'm trying to find medium generators underground because those are way more powerful than the regular organic ones. But I made an entire base on this relay thing, so I'm getting there.
That's cool. Also, if you hit right on the medium printer and then you hit left, you can almost do the Imperial March.
Wait, let me
Do,
see,
do.
or try it myself on my.
It's dun, do 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 do.
I hear it. I'm doing it on my own base too. So were you a cool 90s kid that used to do music in your touch tone telephone?
Tried. Had nothing else to do. It
And I
was
think
like
it was
play
like-
ActRaiser and then speak on the home line to my friends.
Yeah. And I think it was like Nickelodeon magazine that had a bunch of like cool songs you could play on your phone. And they're like, make sure you hang up if your phone starts calling someone. Like, oops, I forgot that.
Well, we had another thing locally. It was called CTVI, and this was like a legendary thing where it was like internet before internet really became popular. It was like 1985. So it was there. Internet was happening, but it wasn't like everyone didn't just know about it. And it was a choose your own adventure thing where only one person at a time on this public access channel on Staten Island could participate. So it would be like an adventure, and you'd press 1, and then the voice would say 1. And then if you press 3, the voice would say 3. And I remember pound was the best one. Pound. And you'd press the buttons based on the prompts on the screen, and you had like, you know, 180 seconds. That was your session. 180 seconds. And you would go through to like Dracula's castle. You'd have to solve riddles. Like, here's one. What's the only fish with 2 knees? And you get like multiple choice. The answer was a toonie fish. And I used to watch that fucking religiously. And almost no one had enough time to finish it. And so the main adventure was never really finished. There was also a trivia one. There was like an informational one. And you would use your phone to input the stuff for like 180 seconds. And that was, yeah, that was like, I got in a couple times. It was so fucking cool because I was like, wow, these are real people. Like, these are people doing this thing, playing a game in front of other people. It was like the beginning of streaming. So that
Would
was
the person
what I did.
calling in? Would
Yeah,
the person calling in be able to have her voice on there, or were they just pushing
not
buttons?
voice, just the buttons. And the
Oh.
voice was like a voice actor who was like, what do you do? And then when you press the number, he would go star, pound. So of course people would go 6 9 6 9 6 9.
So I guess I'll ask for the chat. There wasn't a kill Jester button.
Hell J-Star? No. No, none of that.
Not
It
in the
was
American
Adventure
version.
Call, basically. If you think about it, it was the beginning of Adventure Call. And it
You
was the
know
beginning of
who-
Second Breakfast.
Trying to divert the Lord of the Rings discussion for it inevitably happens. So, do you know who Alan Resnick is?
Trent Reznik's brother? I don't know who. I don't know.
If your last name's similar enough, it means you're related.
You're related, absolutely, yeah.
Alan Resnick makes a lot of pretty well-known, like, super creepy internet videos. Like, he's famous for This House Has People in It, unedited footage of a bear, Alan tutorials. They're all just, like, extremely creepy, and they're usually on, like, Adult Swim really late at night. But anyway, just like you were talking about, he had a thing recently where it was a live, like, weird murder mystery-like thing happening on TV, kind of in a public access-like style, but people could call in, and a character in the show would answer the phone, and then you would just become a part of the story and could affect the story, except you'd use your actual voice. So you would just be there watching these like really good comedians, and then you'd watch for a character that's near the phone if you want to talk to them, and then they would change the story depending on what they say. So I guess it's even more like the
Cool. Yeah.
Falcon hoof thing.
That's much more like Adventure Call. The thing, yeah, my thing that I remember was much more limited and much more like for information of like local events. It was like going to the library, but the library only had a capacity of one person at a time. Because there were like archives. You could go to like an informational section. No one went there. Everyone went straight to the game. Because
Of course.
no one cared otherwise. The games were, you know, and then they did another adventure, and that wasn't as popular. So everyone would go back to the haunted house one. What do you do? It was, yeah, and people still remember this and talk about it to this day. And they, you know, they're like, hey, whatever happened to that? I don't think there's video of it, though. I think it's one of those things that's just been lost to time, which is kind of sad. But you, Mono, would like that Sleep No More thing I talked about that I went to. You know, in some ways, I think you would enjoy
We were
that.
talking about that. It sounded incredible. I would like to
Yeah.
have something like that.
The whole aspect of watching a story and being like a semi... You're more of an observer, you know, and you wear a mask, so you're not really influencing shit. But, at the same time, you feel like you're part of the story. And that's cool.
Yeah, we have something kind of like that in Minnesota here called the Haunted Basement, which is like, it's not what it used to be because it like changed ownership and stuff, but it was a thing that happened in October, and it was the like the biggest Halloween attraction in the whole state, and people in other parts of the Midwest would like drive here for it. But it's just like a basement of an old factory, and they take a whole bunch of art students and just let them loose and do
Art students allowed to do whatever they want? Oh no.
Yes. And they'd be in the basement of a building that is like 130 years old, and it was left in its original form. It had like no safety, anything in it. I mean, safe enough. And it was just old and dusty, and it was just the creepiest kind of horror, because it was not traditional horror by any extent. It wasn't like Dracula just playing boo coming out of a closet or
Right,
something.
like
But
psychological shit, almost?
yeah, and you had to sign a form that would allow the actors to touch you when you went in there.
Okay,
And
because you're not allowed to touch the actors in Sleep No More. But they can
Yeah.
grab you by the arm, and they can take you to like a one-on-one, they call them.
And in the last iteration of Haunted Basement that they had before they changed ownership, they had this amazing setup for if you weren't in the Haunted Basement, you could sit up on like the top floor of this warehouse, and they had just a whole bunch of old like black and white CRTs sitting in a pile, and they're all connected to security camera systems that were in the actual Haunted Basement. So you could watch at like Jigsaw style, watch all the other people going through these horrific, scary Halloween things, and you're just sitting there up above like, yes. Like you can see it coming, like, oh my god, they're gonna get that guy. And then they'll sometimes, like, if you go in with your friends, they'll yank out one of your friends and not tell the rest of the group. and
Oh,
they
shit.
bring them somewhere else. They're like, oh my god, like Johnny's dead.
Right.
And it's all like a role play kind of thing too, so everyone like goes in on it, and it's like genuinely freaky compared to most Halloween stuff.
Kind of reminds me of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it's got that vibe. There's like a fourth wall participation vibe that I like. But that's the thing, like, there's nothing cool like that as far as I'm aware. I'm sure there is. It's New York City, you know. And I'm sure there's plenty of things that aren't advertised, like straight up eyes wide shut parties. But as far as I'm aware, the Sleep No More thing is the main interactive weird art installation that seems to exist around here.
Is it a seasonal thing, or like when
No.
does it usually come around?
They do have, it's at the McKittrick Hotel. Apparently in the winter they have a cabin on top of the building, on top of the hotel. And it's like warm and cozy, and there's hot chocolate and a fire. So there is seasonal stuff. They even have seasonal shows, like magic shows, and like stuff about the occult. And, but the Sleep No More thing is year-round, and you can just go in there and, you know, any day of the week, I think they do a show, and it's just actors on loop repeating their performances, and it's a weird noir 1930s version of Macbeth. So, yeah. And people share their stories about, like, one-on-ones, and, yeah. The performers had to actually... So, when you go into the place, they tell you, please no touching the performers, like, one of the people, like, the chaperones. Apparently, and I did a little research, people were getting drunk and going to the show, and they thought that, like, they could be a part of the show, so they would grab the performers. Oh, no. Apparently, because there's some nudity in the show. Apparently, there was some touching of the Robertsons, and they were like, you know what? And some of the performers felt very uncomfortable. I think one of them quit. You know, I read a couple different things. I don't know how true all of it is, but they had to implement a rule on their website and on you know, in the performance itself, no touching the performers, because people were bad touching. And you know, but that's the thing, like, if you want a truly interactive story, you're gonna have to go to Westworld. Like, you know, there's a limit to what an actor is gonna put up with. See, someone just said that's so disappointing. I mean, I don't agree. I think that's good. You don't want to have people touching the actors, because that's fucking creepy and weird and probably, like, an insane violation of their personal space and what they want. But at the same time, if you want a truly interactive story, you know, that's not... You have to just watch. You have to be an observer, a silent observer. Vinny, I think they mean it's disappointing that someone did that. Oh, good. Good, if that's the way that's in... Yes, agreed. I'm glad that my chat member was a good chat member, and that I took it in the worst possible way. Good for me.
Sometimes a safe bet, knowing Twitch.
Sometimes.
Is that... It kind of reminds me of, there's I think it's a restaurant or a bar or something that's in London, I think? And I think it's called, like, Bletchley Park or something, that's based on an actual, like, espionage organization that was around, I think, in, like, World War II.
Yep.
But the whole theme of the restaurant, or whatever you call a club, is espionage, and you actually have to, like, make orders and stuff by transmitting it in certain code, and they give you costumes, like period accurate costumes and everything for that sort of World War II-ish era, and it's all, like, mysterious and secret agent like, and they have, like, Enigma machine parodies all over the place, and it's like, I don't know, I'll just live there. Like, it just sounds incredible.
Someone said Batchley Park was the place they cracked the Enigma code for the first time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to have an Enigma machine, but I think they're all, like, historic artifacts that are worth millions of dollars, so I don't think there's any chance of that.
Dave, are you building a smelt?
Yes.
That's good. You know what I'm building? Oh, fuck. I was gonna build that. I was gonna build a buggy, but this is good because then you can make aluminum. That's how the guy from Disturbed says it. Aluminum.
Yum.
Aluminum! I'm sorry. I definitely...
Yum.
It's like the guy from Disturbed is his own language. It's just everyone knows. It's just yum num, yum and num and num, yum and num.
Is that later in his life when he's like kind of old and out of energy? He's just like lumin nama yum 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 yum.
What is he
Instead of, like,
speaking in tongues?
Yeah. He never fully recovered from being in the band. It's just his life now.
All right. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Looks like Uncle Draymond's got dementia.
I mean, it all just sounds like that Ewok song. The yum yum.
Oh, the Nup Nup song. You know what? I like the Nup Nup song because that was actually way better than what they did in the scummy version of Star Wars, which is the special edition. There's a couple things in Star Wars Special Edition that were better. A couple. I can't think of them right now. I'll let you know when I do. But there were several things that really... like Slice Noodles, who is the singer in Jabba's palace. And you get to see like her like in, you know... It's like weird and CG and it's just so off-putting and it doesn't really work. And the song is different in Jabba's palace too. Meanwhile, there was the big titty lady that had like 4 tits, and one of her tits flopped out. I remember when the internet first came on, you know, when they first turned the internet on, you could go to like Star Wars, you know, things, production things, and it would be like, here's some stuff that you never saw in Star Wars, bloopers and information and other things, and then like one of them was that the lady's boob in Jabba's palace fell out.
And then you'd like download the image of it and it would take like 20 minutes to download it.
Yeah. It was, well, Hypnospace.
Exactly.
But then they replaced her with Slice Noodles and they gave her a different song and everything. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, some people probably like those songs. I don't love them. I prefer the, you know, I prefer the originals. Of course.
Didn't the special edition add that scene with like Jabba on Tatooine with Han Solo?
Yeah. Well, they filmed that scene with some guy who was like, Han, me boy. It was a Scottish man. It was like a heavyset Scottish man. They thought that was going to be Jabba, and he was wearing like a big cloak. And Boba Fett was in the scene too, and he was like, Han, me boy, you can't just go dropping off the goods and planets and stuff. And then Han was like, Jabba, even I get bored sometimes. I thought Han was saying, even I get bored sometimes. Which that was actually just Harrison Ford saying that he gets bored acting. And he just he needs to take a nap every now and then. But the truth is, though, yeah, that was a deleted scene for years, and then there was 2 versions of the scene. There was the special edition scene, where they haphazardly put, like, a crusty CG Jabba in the scene, and they just lifted Han up. Like, they just took him and used the drag tool in Photoshop and lifted him over Jabba's tail. And it was so, like, off-putting, but in 1997 it looked amazing. And then there was the DVD version, which they, you know, improved it a bit. But I think they should do another version, which is the one where they take it out.
If like the unspecial edition, or what would they call that?
The despecialized edition, which is real. There's a cut that people have made, fans have made, called the despecialized edition, where they just you know, they just got rid of it. They just plain and simple just got rid of all the crusts and what they did was they took the special edition, they combined it with scenes of, you know, the best possible quality of the theatrical cut, and they tried to make a version of Star Wars, the original movie, in HD, with the original theatrical cut as a guide. But yeah, the scene, the Jabba scene, Han goes, Jabba, you're a wonderful human being, because he actually was a human being in the scene. But the irony is that he's calling him a human being, but he's a slug monster, so it's an insult. So, I'm on to you, George Lucas, you fuck. I know what you're doing.
I had a.
You fuck! Sorry.
I know, I was saying, you're sounding kind of like Mike Staclazo all of a sudden.
I know.
I had this book that was like like an art book for the original Star Wars series, like 4, 5, and 6, and it was really incredible. And of course, I cannot remember the name of the artist that did the majority of all of like the world building and concepting of the Star Wars universe.
Ralph McQuarrie.
Yeah, I think that sounds familiar. But his concept art for the movie is absolutely incredible. It's like, I would like to see someone take that art and then try to take their own non-Star Wars take like on that. Like, so much of it never made it into the movie. It's just like stuff, I could take anything he made and put it on my wall.
Yeah.
Like, it's all so good.
Yeah, he was amazing, Ralph McQuarrie. He was really just fucking... He's a genius. There's that large platform. That's what I was gonna make. I was gonna make a large platform, but we need a generator. I need aluminum. You know what? Aluminum would be great right now. How do we make aluminum, Dave Cap? Do you know?
Yes.
Laterite.
Here's a piece.
Thanks.
And there's another piece in the making.
Thanks. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Because I want to make a buggy. Wait, is the buggy the shitty one?
I mean, it depends. The buggy is not much for carrying cargo around, but
which is the cargo carrying one?
The tractor.
And that's medium printer? No, it's not.
Vehicle factory.
Oh, we need a specific vehicle factory for that?
No.
Or wait, I can't remember. I think they moved it around. Can you just use a medium printer to make a vehicle?
Oh, you can. Tractor. 2 aluminum.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else.
Aluminum. A crucial fun. Aluminum.
What you should do is
Every time.
get the Scorpion King tractor. Take out a 300,000 space unit lease. And then get the Scorpion King, and then...
I'd use it to break space trees, right? And glitch myself into space.
Yeah, see, that's actually the prequel to this game, is that someone completely, like, messed up using the Scorpion King, and they launched himself in the space, and then that's where this game starts.
Well, it's Matt Damon. It would have to be Matt Damon.
Would be...
Oh, speaking of concept art, though, I found a book that... This is weird, because this ties in back to the dude who broke my fish tank and thought he was a hacker. But his grandfather was rich. And I don't know what that has to do with the story, but his grandfather was really rich, had a fuckload of money, and he had a lot of cool shit. And one of the cool shit he had was a book that came out for the original Star Wars, A New Hope, which was at the time just Star Wars, before Empire Strikes Back came out, that had the whole original script. So not what they eventually went with for shooting, so there's some alternate lines in there, with storyboards and concept art. And I just found this book. This was one of my favorite books as a kid, and unfortunately when you're a kid, you kind of don't have a lot of care for your objects, so the spine of the book is kind of almost off the book. But I just found this book again, and it's just got a white cover. It just says Star Wars, and when you open it, it says The Art of Star Wars, edited by Carol Titleman, including the complete script of the film by George Lucas. So, Ballantine Books. Okay, so this is a book from the year 1979, and this is just as Star Wars, like, you know, a couple years after, but when it became like a fucking phenomenon, and it is wonderful. The fucking photos, the color photos in this book are great. For 1979, this is a hell of a book. but the detail, all the little concept art, everything is great. Ralph McQuarrie's art is in here. You get the ships, the full-scale like models, and at the very end is my favorite stuff. Considering Star Wars is still brand new at this point, you have posters. You got like all the stuff that existed in the Star Wars universe is in this book. Everything up until that point is in here right now. So you have a poster. There's a Star Wars concert. I'm gonna have to like take pictures of this at some point. There's you know, Dennis the Menace cartoons with Star Wars references. There's other comic books. There's political cartoons with Jimmy Carter. Oh god, it's falling apart. Oh, this book is so fucked.
Is there like a 30-gallon aquarium full of acetone?
I don't want to put it in there. This is too good for that. I'm sorry. There is, however, at the end it says there's the Marvel series, the Marvel comic series of Star Wars. It shows those. And then it's art from kids. It's the Buru. And it's like little kid art. And it's like C-3PO by George Lucas. G-E-R-G-E Lucas. And it says here, there's a Han Solo picture, and he's at a disco, and it says Zap, and it says, after I'm done with this, I'm going to see the Empire strike. Because I guess the title was just revealed at that point. Yeah, so it's like a little Buru, and it's like art you'd put on your fridge. And it's and that's it, and that's all that it is. It's amazing. I've read through that book so many goddamn times. I want to show you guys one thing real quick, and then I'll get back to the gameplay. It's so easy to just bullshit during this game. So in the Marvel Star Wars comic books, there was a bunny character. Now, it was like, you know, Chewie, it was Leia, Han, Luke, and a bunny. And I'm going to show you the bunny. And when I saw this, when I was a kid in the book, I was like, who the fuck is this? So, if you look on the stream right now, you will see the bunny. And you'll see like a 70s vixen. It's
I recognize this character, yeah.
Jaxxon. Jaxxon. That's the name of the character. And so they just thought, well, Chewbacca's a dog, so there can be a rabbit in like a Marvel like spacesuit.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Ninja Turtles had something similar to this. What was his name? Like Usagi Ojimbo or something? This is just a rabbit that does martial arts.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a space rabbit.
Yeah, just a green peppy hair to me.
I ain't no rodent. Ka-chop. He has Bucky O'Hare exact color scheme. Hey, thanks for making the tractor for me.
You made the tractor.
Of course I did. Well, I started it, and then... You know, I didn't finish it.
That's why we're here.
The power of magic and friendship. I'm gonna need, one of them wacky, container, storage units. Let's see. Medium storage. You need 2 resin for that. Okay. We got corn right here. Someone on Twitter named Alec just said order com, and that was their whole Twitter message to me.
I can't even imagine what sort of like tweets you get on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'll get one tweet and I'll be like, oh my gosh, awesome, but I'm sure you look at your phone and you get like 400 tweets and you're like, no, I'm
Not
even
400 so
opening
much,
this.
but there are ones that I can't repeat on stream. But that's always been the case.
Yep. So do you think at PAX you're going to be signing pizzas?
I
Like you
did
did
sign a
at
pizza
TNG.
box. Actually, no, that's not true. At too many games last year, someone got everyone online to sign a pizza box for me.
Wait, so your fans signed a box and gave it to you?
I still have it. Yeah, it's a pizza box. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's been in my trunk for 9 months, Dave. 9 months. What am I doing with it in there? I can't take it out. It's still in there.
What was the... I don't know why I have this memory, but there was something that you left in your car trunk that was like, you know, a regular check-in on stream for a while. Like you lost something and then it turns out it was in your car. What was it? It was like your DS or something?
Does anyone know? Well, I had Oreos in there for a while.
Maybe it was the Oreos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was what flavor of Oreo? I was gonna say what color Oreo. But
Was it
no,
the Swedish Fish Oreos?
it was. Well, yeah, it was that too, but there was another one. Red Velvet, yeah. Those were pretty good. The Swedish Fish Oreos. You know, it's funny, I had Swedish Fish today. What is with all these fucking synchronicities on stream? So many weird ones.
Huh?
It's like when your whole life is on stream and everyone's aware of like all the different parts of your life, like all these connections are made and it feels like it's all coming back and repeating itself.
It's all linking together, like as if there's some kind of meaning thrown into the meaningless void. That is... Anyway, so I have pictures that I'd like to show everybody. I got some interesting images that I've acquired. Give me just a second here.
On a scale of cursed to extremely cursed, how cursed are they?
Not actually. They're pictures I took of stuff I got in my P.O. box, for example. Doesn't work. It's powering the tractor. Well, I got some items in my P.O. box, for one, that were kind of cool. So here, I'll just show them now. Fuck. Oh. Including a video, a long-awaited video. So I figure since I'm going to PAX this week, the least I could do was record a hog squeeze video. Oh god, I realize how that sounds. Okay, so it turns out I was cleaning out my school bag. I say school bag, but it's a backpack, you know. And, I found all these DS games. I'm pretty sure this is from both Too Many Games and from that Atlantic City convention I went to. And there's a mystery game, and yeah, it's just a bunch of DS games, and just some of them look terrible, some of them are maybe pretty alright. And, what pin? Oh, the pin in the top right? Top left, rather? North left? That's a little cursed. This one?
Oh, I had Big Brain Academy. That was a fun game.
Now, I also I also have the items. These are the ones over the years that I've given away at conventions. So you got the kazoos, the deodorant, the Big Jape chapstick, which I now realize, mind you, chapstick is a brand. It's lip balm, so I'm probably violating some fucking copyrights by calling it chapstick. Nut Putt duck, and trash pickle. So there's some infringerinos here.
So it's the Vinesauce survival kit that you keep in like your glove box.
Yeah, you can eat the Nutty Putty if you don't eat the Nutty Putty. So this is another thing I got. I forget who made the pedal. So the Heart of Dead Cells is a visual making of, which I'll talk about next time I stream it, because I think I can give one away. I got contacted by the people who made this book, and they wanted to send me one, and they said that I could do a raffle and give one away. That will be next time I stream Dead Cells, which will be after PAX, because by then the DLC will be out. The expansion. The thing on the right is a guitar pedal. And I forgot who made it. I'm sorry. Email me, let me know who you are. It's a spring reverb, and what you can do is you can plug this into a bunch of other pedals, and you can use weird, like, objects on the spring, like, and create really haunting, strange noises with it. So,
Ooh.
you can do that, like metal. You know, you can, here's a marker. You can just pluck it, and I can't show you because I don't have my pedals with me, and it would take a long time to set up anyway, but yeah, it's just to create strange, weird, springy noises. And finally, the hog.
Oh, that's what it looks like. Okay.
Yeah. It has sunglasses.
Because I thought you were making that noise for a long time before you... Like, I don't know, I was just like, that's interesting. But then it turns out it was like a dog toy or something. Is that what it is?
A toy?
Yeah, I mean, like, is it something that is normally for pets? Because they always have random noise-making things.
No, that's for humans. That's for us. That's the same way,
Okay.
like, I know what you're talking about, but that's actually, like, designed to keep us dummy humans entertained.
Human brand pig squeeze.
I wrote a story about how the humans are in a zoo, and where are the animals in a zoo, man? Wow. Yeah, it's my screenplay. I'm gonna shop it around. I think it has potential. Yeah, I can't actually feed power to this thing from the tractor. It's miserable.
No, you can. You just, when you're using the tractor plug, depending on where the plug is coming from, will direct where it goes. So you need to actually plug. Yeah, there.
Okay, but it's still not enough.
Nope. So here's what you do: is you plug the 3 generators into the thing, and then the tractor at the very last gen.
That's what I did before, but I fucking...
I'll try to help you out here.
Let me just drive into you real quick. Yeah, I did it, and then I guess I did the thing wrong. It's a human zoo, man. We're all just animals in the zoo. Man.
Do you ever feel like an animal in a zoo? Being a
Spite on
streamer?
my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
That's, I
Needs
believe,
more.
famous
Shut it
poet.
off. Sorry.
It's okay, so it needs one more generator plus the tractor.
Actually, by the looks of it, it's gonna need a lot more.
Okay. So maybe a medium generato?
Yeah, if we can make one of those.
Alright. I'm gonna go off and explore and probably get myself killed. I'll be back with materials if I survive.
Cool.
On my bed, I'm still.
Do you just transform?
Yes.
It's an interesting voice.
So... What else? What were we talking about? Well, there's that guitar pedal, which I'll test tomorrow. I can make a video of what it sounds like tomorrow. I can apply some strange guitar pedals to it. Someone a while back made me a glitch, like a corruptor pedal, and it just makes random noises.
Ooh.
And it is awful. I hate it.
Even better.
Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. It was a cool concept, but the noises are like piercing. They just are so harsh. I tried. I gave it a shot. I couldn't find a practical use for it. Maybe you have it upside down. No, we tried it. We tried it from every which way. And the truth is, it just, you know, it was just piercing. It was like a really hard thing to find any use for. No.
I remember, I think this was back before you had released anything with Redbox. I think you had like a synth that you had at your home, and you like plugged it into your computer and were just like playing random synth noises on stream. And I remember it being really funny. I can't remember exactly the context.
That was during the beginning of Redbox, yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the end of we were recording the first album. I still have that synth. It's in my car, along with the pizza box.
Oh, your car sounds really interesting. All this stuff in the trunk.
Yeah, well...
All that junk in the trunk.
Put a lot in Acura. The, yeah, the specifics of what's in the back of my car, and the junk in the trunk. The proverbial junk in the trunk, so to speak. I'm not gonna give you a full overview, but I can tell you there's a lot of cardboard. There's a lot of... Well, that's about it, actually. Yeah. It's just the pizza box, there's that... What else is in there?
Oreos.
No, those are gone. Oh, I have a poster. I have a sign that says Vinny Vinesauce. That they made this giant fucking crazy cardboard sign for me at Too Many Games one year. And it just says Vinny from Vinesauce. I think it says Vinny Vinesauce. And I bring it to conventions with me, and I hold it up. It's a red sign. I've showed it before. But that's always in there, which is probably a bad idea, but I'm not known for my good ideas.
You should get a guy in a suit to hold that sign up, you know, before you arrive somewhere to make you look really important when you show up. It's like, we've been expecting you.
But not at an airport, but like at an Arby's.
Yeah. You got a limousine escort from Arby's to Taco Bell.
Shit, dude. But yeah, I'll be driving up to Boston on Thursday, and so all of my stuff that's in the back of my car is going to have to be moved or tossed. There's not that much. In fact, I probably told you everything that's in there. So
it's better than what's in my
worse.
grandpa's trunk.
I don't want to know where this is going, but go ahead.
It's actually better than it sounds. So my late grandfather, who's an incredible like World War II era inventor, he had like all these patents in his name. He's a really amazing guy, but he made some just crazy, scary inventions towards the end of his life, and he was working on making a hydrogen engine using like electrolysis and kinds of stuff. So, you know, he's very confident, or was very confident in all of his abilities and stuff. So one day we go and we check out his van, and we look in the back of the van, and it's just like tons and tons of containers of jars full of like unknown substances with wires going in and out of them, and like circuit boards, and he's just driving around with this. It is like the sketchiest looking van I've ever seen in my life. It just looks like straight up some sort of like bomb that he's in his van.
When you said hydrogen, that's immediately where my mind went. I was like, is he building a hydrogen bomb?
Yeah, apparently it wasn't stored hydrogen energy. I'm gonna get the physics all wrong, but it was some sort of like a hybrid thing. He modified a boat that he just randomly got off eBay once. Like, keep in mind, he's like 90 something years old, and he's like buying stuff on eBay and driving across the country. But he bought a boat from California. You know, I live in Minnesota, and he drove it all the way back, and then he modified the boat to have like a hybrid hydrogen engine on it, and he just like drove it around on his own one day, and he had all these leftover parts. Like, I'd go to his house and he would just be exploding hydrogen bubbles. He's like, hey, check this out, and like, boom, an
Hey, check
explosion.
this out,
Rattle
grandson.
everything. Yeah, come closer.
Your parents are like, you're not going to grandpa's house again.
Right. And this is gonna make him sound way worse than it really was, but so he lived alone for a lot of the last part of his life, and his backyard had just tons of gigantic trees, like some of which he planted when he was very young, and he would never hire anyone to like cut branches off the trees. So here's this 90-year-old man who puts one ladder up into the tree, brings a second ladder with him, climbs up the ladder, puts a second ladder in the tree to go even higher up the tree, and then he brings a chainsaw with him. So one hand is holding onto a branch, and other hand has a running chainsaw that he's reaching over to cut down branches. And he had new neighbors shortly before this happened, and they called us. Like, we gave our neighbors our personal phone numbers in case he was doing weird stuff. And they called us and told us exactly what was happening. Like, oh yeah, that's normal. You know, like, just, he can do it. He's been doing it his whole life. And they're like, okay.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, is your grandfather's name Rick, and is your real name? Never mind.
It's
Bad. Yeah.
Minority.
Minority.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you, in
Banana.
fact, like pickles? Manan, yaman, yamanamana. God, that's amazing. Yeah, no, it sounds like a great guy. My grandfather was a carpenter, and he would build lots of strange things, but not like death beams or anything. Just like stools and chairs. You know, a little bit of a difference. But he was really good with cars. He was great. We got along really well, and we would watch Mel Brooks movies together. And yeah, he was good at carpentry, but I remember, oh my god, this is going to be a gory, not gory, but this is kind of one of the last memories I have of him was, okay, so he was working on something in his workshop, and you might want to mute this chat if you don't like blood, and he was working in his workshop, and he was using a circular saw for something, because, you know, when you're 87, you need to cut a pipe. And I guess he cut into his hand pretty bad. Not enough to lose, you know, like a finger or anything, but pretty bad. And he didn't feel it. And he just kept going for a little bit. But no, eventually he stopped. It was good. Went to the doctor, the hospital rather, and it healed. It was fine. But he just, that's what happened. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't okay, but he ended up, you know, recovering from that at like 87. But the real issue is that he didn't realize what was happening. And one of the reasons for that is that he lost a lot of feeling in his hands later on in life. And I don't know if it was because he was, you know, hitting a hammer most of his life, but that's how he made a living. So
I know, it's like,
yeah.
so many grandparents, you know, of like people who are in their 20s and 30s right now, like, your grandparents were like such badasses. You know, it always comes up in conversation, but it's like, it's gonna be so sad, even though I'm probably not gonna ever have children or grandchildren. But, you know, like, I'll be telling my grandchildren about, you know, like I was saying, I was there for YTMND, you know, and I pictured Sean Connery pointing at the screen saying a quote from the movie. That was what I was doing when I was your age.
Oh, they'll be like, that was mental, Grandpa. Great, good job. But, you know, then you'll be like, I was there when we got to the core of the planet in Astroneer, when we were talking about our grandpas. You know, it's gonna be like, I was there when they called the wrong name at Starbucks. And that's when I got the Starbucks bill revoked. Like, it's gonna be just non-issue after non-issue. Like, our grandpa's like, yeah, you know, I was, fighting the war against Hitler. And, you know, we're gonna be like, yeah, we, you know, we were out there. We was out there fighting against Starbucks for getting our names wrong. We survived Y2K.
I was watching on the internet when they announced that the PlayStation 3 was going to be 599 US.
There was a giant enemy crab and everything, Billy!
There were 1 million troops, and I couldn't just XXX and YYY because I was going to be sucked.
And then they'll be like using their hypnospace headband and ignoring you.
Yeah, maybe we won't have to tell stories to grandkids. They'll just like be completely absorbed in like a Matrix cyberspace world thing.
Just make them up. Just make them up. Be like, yeah, I was in Middle Earth. Fighting against Sauron's troops. Yeah, Grandpa, that was... You watched a movie. You know they remade it by now, right? What? They remade Lord of the Rings? Who's in it? Bradley Cooper Jr.? How come I manage to do the most boring shit when I play this game? I'm like digging a tunnel for no reason. I thought there would be an end to this.
Well, that's what you do in this game when you're completely focused also. So that's not that different than how it normally goes.
Good point. I thought this was going to be a small little, like, area that I would just have to get through. You know, just a small little, like, tunnel would be good enough, I thought.
Plus, I mean, in the back of your head, you know that we're busy building your bases anyway.
Our bases, Dave.
Right.
Was there wolframite on the moon? Do you guys remember?
Yeah, the previous moon, yeah.
Okay, so I forgot I can just make a medium generator. I've been looking for them because they can spawn underground, but I'll just make one.
Oh, is that the resource it needs?
Yeah, it needs tungsten, and then tungsten comes from wolframite.
Is there a better way to, like, get materials that you've already seen in previous worlds? Like, for example, if wolframite is from the moon, do I have to go back to the moon to get that? Or is there a better way?
I think there's a better... Haven't used it yet. Maybe Mono knows. Does the trading post let you do that?
Trading post, yeah.
Yeah, trading post does some of that. You have to get scrap first, and to get scrap you need shredder.
So I built a medium shredder, but it doesn't fit any of the scrap that I've collected, so...
Okay. I don't even want to know where this ramp goes. Like, I made a tunnel by accident, and now I made a ramp. So, I'm just gonna put the pedal to the metal and see what the fuck happens. Here we go, chat. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. This is as fast as it goes. Here we go! And it is... nowhere exciting. Wow, I really dug a lot deeper. Where the fuck am I? This is... Huh. I found... Ooh. Found a thing.
Ooh.
It's like an alien thing.
Usually if you find space debris like that, there's some kind of special resource nearby. Like buried underground or something. But the trick is not to let yourself get too distracted by it that you suffocate while looking for it.
I like suffocating in this game. It's fun.
Oh, in this game, okay.
In real life, too. I forget to breathe from time to time. The chat reminds me.
Isn't Room to Breathe? Isn't that a
That is... That's an album and a song, yeah.
So I guess like there's hydration bot that reminds you to drink water. So there's an oxygenation bot.
Oxygenation bot, yeah. It's the newest Twitch phenomenon.
That's part of the dystopian future. Like, you know, last time when we were doing this and got put on like 5 government watch lists, we were talking about like bots in chat, bot streamers, bot chatters, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just another thing that will happen is the basic human functions will become so disconnected from what we take for granted right now for like eating and breathing and stuff like that, that we like have apps on our phone to somehow like remind our bodies to work, because like our brains no longer manually control these things, so we have to have like machines to tell us to do it.
Well, we have, I mean, there is an internal thing that tells us to breathe, so we don't have to manually breathe, and it's like, you know, obviously our heartbeats, we already are an AI. Like, we have functions of AI within us. And thus, if those get disrupted, then yeah, we will need an app. But like at the end of the AI movie, you know, there's like aliens that might in fact just be like mechanical, like app aliens. I think we'll just become that. We'll just upload our consciousness. There's already, I mentioned this on stream, I think, but there's already a thing where you can upload your consciousness, all the data in your brain to like a server, but you die. Like, this is already something that apparently exists to the point where it's been advertised.
Yeah, no, there's like cryogenic services and stuff too, where you could just get your entire body frozen in hopes that a process to unfreeze you successfully will happen in the future, but just in case, we're just going to keep your body on hand.
Right. That's been happening for a while though, right? Like supposedly Walter Disney.
Yeah.
And with
like
the amount,
maybe
that's
not
why
even
they
the
keep
body.
acquiring these movies, these studios.
Also, that's why he did it. It's like, as long as his body is still intact, all these like copyright laws, et cetera, are still in place.
Yeah. Walt Disney was cremated, so what is left of him? Aside from his fucking specter looming over every aspect. Oh, by the way, today was kind of a shit day. Article 13 passed in the EU. I don't know what this means for Vinesauce. Even though I do live in the US, there's a chance it could affect my streams at some point in the future. So I can't pretend I've done all that much research about it. But, you know, like Joel is gonna probably have some issues. There's gonna be some things that could change on the internet. Limes, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes one day at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, you know, like a typical American, I don't fully understand what's going on in Europe. But from what I understand, I think it has to do with that use of certain media online now has extra protection. So like someone who owns the property of something now has more power than ever to like punish you for using their content.
Right.
People
So
are,
if I play
memes as we know it.
memes, yeah, if I play, so the Frodo meme is now over in England, like for example. So if I were to play like
All right then, keep your secret.
I could get fucking booty blasted into oblivion for playing that clip. If I lived in the UK, in the EU. But here's the thing. There's more to it than that. I'm gonna die. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. How do I keep doing this? Wait, it's resin, right, for the oxygen thing?
Yeah,
Corn.
yellow.
Why can't I make it?
Remember, it's oxygen filters and not canister. Or
No, it
whatever
is.
they
I
always
got-
make
I
it.
It's
got
because
ox-
you're out of energy.
Oh,
It uses up electric energy.
oh, that's cool. Well, I'm never gonna find this body.
Quick,
Ever.
make a dong tower so that you can spot this from a distance. Like, go up on a high hill and just make the biggest dong you've ever made. Oh, you're right near one of the alien relay things,
I am.
so that's pretty
I am.
easy to find. Oh, and there's already a dong tower there, I see.
There's my
Should've
vehicle.
known.
Ah, it's so close. But yeah, the whole thing is that it's like they have to check before. You know how like I can play a Beatles song and the Beatles song will get claimed. I think now if a Beatles song is detected, your video just gets canceled. I think that is part of what is happening here. But I don't know for sure. It's gonna be a mess. Vinny, that's not quite correct. The companies that host the services are held accountable for what you post. So YouTube is held accountable for copyrighted materials on their platform now.
Yeah, it's. I don't know much about it, but my best guess is they're going to go after the bigger guys before they're going to go after the smaller guys.
And parody law has been clamped down upon. So if you parody the Beatles, you can get shit canned. Oh, that's interesting. Because memes are banned, apparently. That's good. I can't wait to listen to government-sanctioned music. Vinny, no, that is not true. Okay, so then I'm getting very conflicting information. Memes are exempt. Well, as long as memes are exempt, people won't complain.
I think you need a special emote, and I know, your best friend Germa has an emote that's called "One Guy" or "That Guy" or something, for when you happen to see the one and only message of a certain kind, then now all of chat is attributed to the message of that one person. It's very useful.
Is that what that means?
Yeah, it's like if you're enjoying a game and then one chat member's like, "This sucks," and then suddenly you're like, "Oh, I guess chat doesn't like this game." It's like, no, it was just one guy.
Yes, I like that. I like the idea that one guy represents all. That's good. That's good.
Let's see if we get the shredder working with this thing I found.
Cool. I need to find my body in my vehicle. The biggest issue is that the wording on Article 13 is really vague, meaning that nobody's quite sure what will or will not fall under this new law. Therefore, online services have to be super conservative in order to avoid repercussions. I read somewhere, someone described it as, it's the people, like the older people, that are making these decisions, these laws, that think the entire internet is just Facebook.
Wonder when we're old and everybody hates us, what laws are we going to pass that our children really hate?
Meme school?
Could be.
Well, here's the thing, the music industry is holding on to the... We've talked about this several times. Oh wow, I'm gonna die on my own base. Excellent. The thing about the music industry is it really is, like, decomposing at a rapid pace, and it's becoming less and less necessary. I want to just say, if anyone here has, like, some kind of, like, passion for music, it is possible to do it without a label. It's tough, but what I've accomplished with Vinesauce and with music involved zero corporate push or interests whatsoever. Like zero. I mean, sure, the platforms that I used, YouTube and Twitch, were helpful. And I had help from some great people along the way. But not corporations and not a music label or an industry. And it's something that can be achieved if you get lucky, if you work hard, if you have the right stuff, that people want to listen to or watch. And I think that's frightening for labels, and I think they're in panic mode, and I think they're trying to find ways to hold on to whatever last bit of relevancy. It's like a lot of news organizations going more and more mental with clickbait because they need to get clicks as best they can. And I think that's one of the theories I heard about why things are so fucked up right now, and news is so, like, polarizing and, leaning so far one way or another, is because they just need to get them reactionary clicks. And it's because the news, the traditional news media is falling apart, and they're trying to keep up, and that's the way they're doing it. So we're getting rid of our baby teeth at the moment on the internet, I think. And hopefully if there's any good in this world, we will get past all this bullshit that we're in right now and, figure something out.
I think it's like when you grow up with a certain technology that had a huge effect on society, that when you get old enough, you end up allowing it to be integrated better into society, so you don't have all these like bullshit laws trying to tell you how and how not to use it. Like, I always like to think of it that, like, our parents' generation grew up with TV, and television was the big weird thing, and then now it's gone through so many different phases and regulations and all that. So I think internet is just, it's going to be our thing that we have to push and to form it into what we want it to be, and then maybe it'll be outdated by the time we're dead.
That's a good point. Well, there's one guy in chat that wrote, "This discourse kind of took a dive," and they posted a sleeping emote. It's that one guy.
See, I'm telling you, you need that emote.
We need that emote. Yeah, they don't. Obviously, it's one represents all. But I don't really. I mean, for the most part, I just do my best to talk about stuff like this. I don't usually know what the fuck I'm talking about in a general sense. And sometimes I stumble upon something that I want to talk about, and I know a little bit about, but it's hard to know anything other than video games.
I think the most important thing is to first admit that you don't fully understand something before talking about something you don't fully understand. And I think a lot of the internet does not follow that rule. They speak confidently about things that they know nothing about, and then they get a following out of it, and then it goes downhill from there.
I think that's well said. I like that.
But something reminded me of Ninja Turtles real quick.
What?
We were talking about Shredder, and this is going to be a demonstration of my 90s kids only remember. Did anybody see Ninja Turtles 2, the movie?
No. Well, I'm sure I did, but I don't. Who the fuck knows?
Secret of the Ooze.
Oh,
well, there's, Shredder is like the main villain for most of Ninja Turtles, and there's a scene where, what was it? Where he just bursts out of a door and he says, "Babies, they're all babies, ah!" And that sound clip, like, you can just YouTube search Ninja Turtles babies, and that'll come up. But that clip plays in my mind constantly. When I see like a bunch of question marks in chat, when you make a reference to something like from the 90s and like nobody gets it, I'm like, babies, they're all babies.
I mean, the thing is, though, we don't know about Drake.
The Animal Crossing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, even though they have their question marks, we have ours, too. And we don't know how super cool Drake is, for example.
True. I still have never heard his voice or anything that he does. All I know is that he's in a picture where he's looking in one direction, pointing, and then he's like...
and then he's disgusted in the next one, yeah.
Yeah. And I've come to understand that there will never be a TikTok ad that does not piss me off.
Yeah, they
like,
all
to no
aggravate
end.
me. It's ruined that brand for me, even if it does have merit. Okay, Dave, I may need your help
Yeah.
because I'm a mess in this game right now. I have a new mission. My new mission is to recover my fucking body.
Alright.
So, a vehicle would probably be helpful, right? But I
Yeah.
don't have the materials for a vehicle. Do you? Well, they're all here,
let's
but
see.
okay.
Tractor, 2 aluminum. I have 1 aluminum. I'll go get another.
So show me aluminum. How do I aluminum?
Well, I just used up a resource, so we'll have to find another one. But typically, you can follow me and go down into the cave.
Oh.
And I think I already cleared out all the ones near this, so we're gonna go 1 deeper.
Okay. Oh, so you've been mining down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can find it. It looks like sort of a purple-blue hexagonal cylinder.
I'll probably die down here too. The other issue is my vehicle is so far away, I think. Well, actually, it's right near an alien artifact. So if I could find that, we'd need to power it on.
You know what you should do?
What?
Yeah, we got this corn over here. Pick up the corn. And try not to get too close to these gas things. And then you can make oxygen filters with those.
I see chat is talking a lot about TikTok all of a sudden, so where's my paycheck? But I've also noticed that there's like a counter TikTok move or something where there's videos that people make that are completely against everything they want you to use the app for. Like, what was it, like Jeremy Clarkson or whatever? Didn't he just do something with TikTok lately? I don't know. There was some weird thing that had nothing to do with the app that was used on that platform that was absolutely hilarious. I don't remember what it was though, but I laughed.
I was gonna say Rip Vine.
Right.
You know, that was the TikTok I remember.
Now we just have videos on Twitter.
Also, I'd like to let you know that as unanimous as most people are in agreement that the Article 13 passing, without going back into the politics too heavily, I want to say that there are people in chat and otherwise that I do see supporting it. And also casually explaining to me that it's wonderful. So, I mean, yeah, there are. Or if they're not supporting it, they understand it to the point where they're like, oh, it's going to be fine. So, there's at least that one guy that supports it, which means the entire chat supports it. And that's how laws are passed, everybody. Now you know that was your lesson on on laws. I'm just a bill.
Hi, Bill.
So, I'm going to die again?
Use your corn.
Oh, I don't have enough corn.
Well,
Where's the exit?
that's a good question.
My sense of direction is so fucking bad.
I have a
What's this
pro tip for navigation. I just leave little gray bumps everywhere I go, not because my name is like mononucleosis, but I just leave, you know, like if you hold down, is it Alt, and you can make a little pile?
Oh, yeah.
Just leave bumps everywhere, and then you can follow those back to where you came from.
Not a bad idea.
But now I'm going to get your bumps confused with my bumps,
Yep.
which I wish I didn't say, but it makes sense in context.
Well, you're back at the base. I believe there's some quartz there. You might be able to use that to make more oxygen tanks. so you'll.
Oh, okay. Well, I have them on my dead body.
And your cold, dead body.
Yeah. Man, it's amazing how dying so far from your base is the worst thing that ever happened.
A lot of times, the amount of time it takes to get your body isn't worth just remaking what you had. So you're just kind of like, oh well.
Remake what I had. Well, that sounds like a good idea, but I'm not about good ideas. Someone said the worst part is that this is one of the biggest planets.
I didn't know that.
Shit. Yeah, but how far could I have been? I remember, well, is there a wait a minute, is there a way to zoom out and see your body from space?
Well, you can scroll wheel backwards to zoom out a little bit, but you can't zoom out on a planetary level unless you get in a rocket and go into orbit.
Yeah, but then I still wouldn't be able to see my body, right?
I'm not sure.
If you
I
orbit
wanna
the planet,
say-
you can see the alien things.
Yes. If you do that, make sure to take along the extra rocket booster. I put.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Dave, do you know if I make a medium storage thing and fill it with resources and then use the packageinator on it, will it preserve the resources?
A good question, Mega Man. I don't know.
Because I'd like to be able to hold a lot of stuff, but if it's just going to erase everything, there's got to be an Astroneer expert in chat.
CD erased.
Is that a Subnautica voice?
No, it's a old meme.
Old meme.
Did you find it? Oh, you did, didn't you?
Nope. I
No, it's.
went back
You
here
did-
by accident.
Yeah, but you accidentally found it too because you found the.
What? What?
You saw where the beam of light was coming out of.
Yeah.
You died near that.
But where is that? Like, I see it. Is that me?
It's southeast of where we are.
Oh. Well,
Okay, according to Horonelius, he says that if you try to package a medium storage, it will force everything off of it, and then it will just package the unit and not all the things attached to it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, damn. Having trouble getting wolframite over here.
Yeah, I can barely find any aluminum anymore.
I have tons of aluminum over here.
Of course you do.
why are the frames dropping so hard while I'm in space?
It's trying to understand everything about the entire system.
Only on stream,
But-
though. Only on stream.
Oh yeah.
Like, in game,
Well,
I'm getting, 60, but I'm watching the stream. I just saw you suffocate, Mono.
Just a little bit. I'm good.
Just gonna die a little bit, Stan.
Exactly.
I think it uses up a lot of processing power, maybe. That's usually what kills my streams, anyway. Uh-oh. Still there, Vinny?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your screen went black. Your stream.
Weird. Yeah, I was trying to, change the capture method, but that doesn't even work. So, I just gave up.
I've
I
noticed in-
see the body.
Oh, it's back now. I just saw your stream.
Okay, so...
Oh, northeast from the base, then.
Yeah, but how do we... fully... Hell. So, northeast, so there's, Hmm. So there's Rocky Mountains that are going to be on the right. Rocky Mountains on the right. Okay, I see. Okay.
You know what's really confusing but realistic in this game is that it actually creates cardinal directions based on the poles of the planet. So one time I kept going north, like north over and over and over. I was like, wow, this planet is huge. But when I reached the north pole of the planet, it switches. So I was just repeatedly going back and forth to the same place because it swapped north
So
and south.
Yeah, judging by what I saw on your stream, it's actually northwest. Like west-northwest is where you're about.
Well, it's to the right of these mountains. It's like, yeah. Well, I
So
don't know.
you can see the compass if you hover your mouse over your character.
Really? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's. Okay, I see. A little confusing, but you're right. It's northwest. It's west. Northwest. Did you manage to find any materials? I'll even take a tractor at this point.
So the tractor takes 2 aluminum. How much does the buggy require?
1 aluminum and 1 compound.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Okay. Well, here's the aluminum. And we don't appear to have compound.
We can make some though. I'll make some right now.
Buggy needs a seat, I'm being told.
Yeah, the seed also requires just compound, so it should be easy. Maybe like 5 of them or something. Now.
Okay. This will be a very dangerous mission. Do you wish to come?
Oh yeah.
Is there more than... Well, hang on a minute. It's a single-seater, I think.
Yes or no?
I think we can. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Let me check out...
Some kind of trailer.
Let me check out the other vehicles available. Tractor's aluminum times 2. Compound aluminum is a trailer.
Oh yeah, if we had plastic or rubber, I don't know how to do either of those.
If you push escape and go to the resource menu thing, it shows every resource in the game, and you can get a kind of an idea of what you're looking for. It doesn't say... Oh wait, actually it does. Like, it'll say what something will refine into.
Oh, there is a thing here with resource. Oh, okay. This whole time, I was like, why do I have to go online and find that?
This isn't Minecraft. You don't have to rely on a wiki to learn how to play.
The Wild Wild West. Wiki Wiki Wild West.
Is that Wikipedia's theme song?
It is, yes.
Oh, I think I found more aluminum.
Trailer? Should I do trailer?
No, trailers specifically for the tractor.
Okay, so then we'll do the buggy.
Actually, hold up, because I'm getting a lot of aluminum.
I already made the buggy.
Alright.
You order pizza, babe? I already ordered pizza, Tommy. Haha, you think everything! Vinny, how are you going to retrieve your other vehicle? I'm going to abandon the buggy.
No, I'm coming together.
I think you can attach them together and, like, tow the other one. Maybe?
With a tractor? Or, yeah. Yeah, with a tractor.
Yeah, can't you just connect the power couplers on the back? I don't know. Not sure how it works.
Yeah, I don't know how the buggy works. But I got some aluminum.
Vinny, I went to a live screening of The Room with Greg Sestero the other day, and so many people were dressed like Tommy. I like that Greg has such a good sense of humor about what went down in The Room. But imagine, like, being known for terrible acting and just going to screenings, because you know that you can go there and answer questions and have a good time. But also, while you're doing that, you know, you're still watching yourself do some of the worst acting. I mean, it's not his fault entirely. I would probably, honestly, I would do it too.
It's like when I think about people on YouTube or whatever, when they got really famous for a very short amount of time, and then people complain that they're selling out, like if they were on a commercial for a product or something. It's like, I mean, I would too, if you got extremely famous.
Thanks,
and
mate.
knew your fame wasn't going to be around long. Yeah, I think like
Do it.
Tay Day and stuff.
Well, he's still doing tweets. It's not exactly famous, but didn't Tay Zonde follow like 7 million people at one point? Because he follows me.
Yeah, he's following me too.
It's not following me.
Not a part of the Tay Club.
Chocolate Tay. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. It's funny
I didn't
because
know-
that song is, I still remember it like it was. I haven't heard it in 10 years. I could probably recite half the lyrics. I just loved that song. I unironically liked Chocolate Rain.
I didn't know he's actually from my state, and he like went to school just a few blocks away from where I live and everything.
Really? So he's a local of, yeah,
Minneapolis.
oh, I was gonna say Soder, Minnie or Soder.
No, we say pop here. I don't, but everyone else says pop instead of soda.
Yeah,
So it should be
that shit is
Minnepop.
Minneapolis. Oh wait, no, that's Minneapolis. So there's Minnesota, Minneapolis, and what else? What other mini cities are there?
Where'd you go?
Oh, I left without you. You can come. I mean, I would like for you to come with me. Here, go to northwest. No, go. Oh fuck. Do you want me to drop a beacon?
If you got it on you.
Do you see this? See red beacon?
Oh, yes. I see that. My tractor is being built. My tractor is built.
Yeah, it's funny, in Minnesota we have a lot of mini cities. There's Minnetonka, Minnehaha. I think it has to do with like our Ojibwe roots or something. I'm not sure where the word comes from.
So they're not miniature cities then?
I don't think so. We have a lot of kind of weird mixture of heritages here. So like all of the names of cities are like, could be French, could be like Swedish.
I've
could
heard of
be
Minnetonka.
Ojibwe.
That's a lake? Minnetonka?
There's Lake Minnetonka, yeah, but there's also like cities that have names of lakes and lakes that have names of cities, and we got a lot of lakes.
Apparently Minnehaha means laughing water. Or someone is just talking shite. Someone is Carl in chat and just talking shite.
I
That
know
sounds
at
like shite.
Lake George in New York, they have the Minnehaha boat that you can ride. And it has like a full musical thing on, like musical horns or something. Used to go see that when I was a kid.
I used to go to Lake George. I went to Lake George like 6 or 7 summers in a row at one point.
Did you go to the Great Escape?
No, I never been to that. At the time, I didn't do roller coasters. Really, I was a latecomer to that stuff. Vinny,
That's
it's
too bad.
actually real. Oh, okay, it is real. It is laughing water.
I'm on my way. Almost. I see you.
Dude, you're glitching to the heavens.
So are you.
Oh. It's fixed now. Okay, if I stand over here, I get a really nice view. But I don't know precisely where we are. Let me check north. What we're still going. I think it's by that beacon. So just follow me, I guess.
You have to press Z. Press Z, follow me.
What happens when you press Z?
No, I'll talk about the PUBG meme.
Someone said, did you see the trailer for Tommy's new Shark movie? I did, but it's not exactly a real... I don't think it's actually footage from the movie. I think it's all just, you know, promo footage. Which may as well be footage from the movie, knowing Tommy. I just realized something. How are we gonna get back?
We're gonna drive back.
Yeah, but do we know where we're going? Oh, I see it. Oh, fuck. It's my tunnel.
Oh.
Vinny, are you gonna watch the Dora the Explorer movie? Probably not, but I never watched Dora as a kid because I wasn't a kid when that was on TV, and I just, you know, I didn't watch it. But I watched some of the trailer, and I kept waiting for the guy with the big nose to show up, and the like feral kid, and then I realized that was the Thornberrys and not Dora the Explorer.
Nigel.
Yeah, it was Nigel Thornberry and the kid who was voiced by Flea, and I was like, oh, obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I think in an alternate Vinesauce universe that instead of Dink memes, we would have had Nigel memes. Because they're kind of similar characters. Just
Yeah, and they
very
have distinct voices.
obnoxious. Yeah.
But the difference is, though, Nigel already kind of is a meme. Mr. Dink was a little bit more, like, unexplored. Danny Trejo is going to play the monkey in the Dora movie. Excuse me? Isn't the reaction to that trailer kind of not lukewarm, but more, this is really dopey? Because I don't know. I didn't really think it looked... I don't know if it's what Dora the Explorer fans want. Let's put it that way.
Only thing I know about Dora is swiper, no swiping, or whatever that was.
Put the beacon there. You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna put the beacon here. You know, one of the reasons I came out here in the first place was to chase that pillar of light.
Oh yeah, let's
But I don't know if we want to lose track of our...
if we dig a slope out from here, then we'll be next to the tractors. We should be...
Okay. Yeah, but we're gonna freeze our Jacobsons off.
My Jacobsons are ready. I mean, thankfully, temperature doesn't really seem to be a thing that matters.
Okay, I'm gonna leave a pink beacon here. How the fuck did we get to Jacobson? Okay, so I swear on me, Jacobs was one way. You know, that's one way to do it. Jacobs is apparently English slang for balls, which was in the movie Snatch. There was the fucking Bricktop, I believe was the dude's name, and he was like, "I'll fucking cut your Jacobs off." And now it's Jacobson's.
Alright, I had my pen and paper ready for that, so in a stream 10 years from now, I'll be on here and I'll, like, bring it back up again.
Vinny, what isn't English slang for balls? Balls. Just the word balls. Everything else is. Okay, so what is the Pillar of Light? Do we know?
Yeah, it's one of those things that unlocks a teleporter, like on the first planet.
So one of these things, then, that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I think that's where the pillar of light comes from when you're far away.
Okay.
So it indicates. Actually, if you look straight up, you can still faintly.
So do you want to feed this thing some
do.
power?
Yes. But do you happen to have the ability to place land
Yeah.
with like a canister on you? Because I forgot my canister. If you want to make a like straight ramp towards the bottom, I've already cut out a bunch of stuff to get there. It just needs to be straight.
Yep. Chad, I'd like to let you know that I made the mistake of getting a salad from a pizza place tonight, and it really is like that Family Guy sketch. Like, I hate to bring up Family Guy, because it's fucking Family Guy, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It was a dry, weird salad with lots of purple in it, and there was no consistency to the lettuce. I got oil and vinegar as the dressing, but it was like one. It wasn't enough. What do you need, Dave?
Just flatten this ramp way out. Yeah, perfect.
I feel like iceberg lettuce just isn't worth eating. I think it's like one of those things where it's like it takes more calories to eat it than it gives you from eating it.
I mean, it adopts the flavor of whatever the fuck you put on it. Otherwise, it's just like liquid, like solid liquid, which is the next Metal Gear Solid character. Solid liquid. But it's pretty... Yeah, I mean, yeah, spinach. Romaine, when it's not diseased. Lettuce is just crunchy water, get it right. You're not wrong. Strep lettuce. Strep lettuce. I'm experiencing a strange sensation of... There's a tightness in my chest. It feels like I just ate something with small bubbles in it. Like, I feel like I have to burp, but there's nothing in there to burp. I know that's like, you don't need to hear about me burping, chat, but...
I think that's just indigestion, because I get that sometimes too. Like you feel it in your chest,
Yeah.
and it's often misdiagnosed as a heart attack, because it's like, oh, if my heart hurts, it's a heart attack, which much more likely than not is not the case.
Hang on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It is past. I am no longer... experiencing strange heart attack-like symptoms. Streamer
That's good.
Vinny Vinesauce dead at 33. No, I'm fine. No, it was a little bit of weird gas. You know what it is? I'm drinking this fizzy drink. Now that I think about it, it's flavored sparkling water, but the bubbles are barely recognizable.
I really hate drinks that barely have a flavor. It's like either have a flavor or not just like you put an eyedropper of flavor in it, aka LaCroix.
I love the LaCroix memes, like the flavor memes of what LaCroix is, like the hint of banana next to a picture of a strawberry. Lemon adjacent. A suggestion of orange. Thank you, chat, for these. These are wonderful.
It's like
Memory of fruit is a good flavor.
Like shipped in a truck next to a box of oranges or something like that.
Yeah, that was one of them. Meanwhile, there actually is a drink called Hint, which is a it's light on flavor. There's like no sugar. And I thought it was pretty good. It's water. So here's the it's exactly what you don't want, Mono. It's water, but with a slight hint of flavor.
See, I can make that if I just buy orange juice, and when the orange juice is gone, I just fill it up with water, and then there you go. This is the drink. It's just all the scummy remains of orange juice. Just fill it back up with water.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the sound of that. But I do, I'll tell you what, here's another thing that I don't understand. Cucumber water. There are several hipster bars in Brooklyn that I've been to that have a vat of cucumber water. And it's like, hi, I'd like a glass of water, please, because I'm drinking alcohol and I'd like to hydrate. Here, why don't you have a barrel, an old wooden shitty barrel filled with cucumbers and water. This is what you want, right? No, I would like a glass of water, maybe with a lemon in it. No, I know what you want. You want water that's been soaking in cucumbers overnight.
Sounds absolutely disgusting.
Sure, I'll take it.
I think what's even worse is when people shorten the word cucumber as cuke.
Cuke.
It's like I can't think of any more vile sounding of a word than cukes.
What about
Well, I mean, it's as close to puke as you can get.
What are PG words that make you sick, chat?
Oh, I have a
Moist.
ton, but yeah. That one actually doesn't bother me.
It bothers me because, and so help me God, I don't know why I'm telling this, but it bothers me when I'm having dinner with my grandmother and she says her food's not moist enough. And I want you to understand something. I know she means well. But I hate it.
I've tried to figure out, to analyze all the words that I don't like the sound of to figure out why I don't like them. And it tends to be if there's too many consonant sounds and not enough vowels. So there's just a lot of mouth clicks and wet sounding things in a row.
Is the word consonants one of those words?
Consonants isn't, well, maybe. There's quite a few vowels in the word consonant,
Did you solve this puzzle already? Or did you...
No. We do not have close to enough power to power this.
Oh, we need medium generator amounts of power?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get our shit back up and not having a good time.
Meanwhile, I can drive up this shit backwards.
It's the power of the buggy.
I really hate it when food terms are used to describe non-food items.
Joe
people
hates that. At the studio, if you describe something as tasty, or if you say that it has any kind of relation to food, he will slice you in two.
The tasty lick.
Yeah, no, there's a tasty lick jar that's still that hasn't been in effect in a while, but like you put $1 in every time you say something is a tasty lick.
Well, like, one that I hate is when someone's talking about, like, puppies, and they say, like, oh, it's a fresh litter of puppies. And I'm thinking, like, oh, what, are you going to eat them or something? Like, you're
Dave-
gauging their freshness?
Dave, which way are we? Aren't we supposed to return to the base, which is southeast?
Yeah. Where's your hole? Where's your tunnel?
In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit.
What was his name?
There's a hobbit jar now. It's a Lord of the Rings jar. Dildo Saggins. Listen. Don't worry about it. There's a word I hate. Almost more than any other word. It's Applebee's. Just causes me anger and anguish. And I think about that one time I ordered, like, grilled chicken from Applebee's, and it was just sad.
Well, there goes your Applebee's sponsorship.
Bone Applebee's. Sad microwaved chicken. You know, I remember one time I was at an Applebee's alone. Listen, it was a low point. I don't like to talk about it, but regardless.
Can't go any lower
Then what?
than alone at Applebee's.
Oh, okay. Dave, I'm in the right spot, by the way. My tunnel.
Okay, good.
My tunnel is over here. So I'm eating at Applebee's alone, and the drummer of my friend's old band worked there on the side just to make a couple extra bucks. And I remember, you know, I was like, "Oh shit, how you been, man? You know, what's new?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, I'm here part-time, couple days a week, just to pull in a couple bucks." I said, "That's cool." This is going back about 4 or 5 years. I said, "So, you know, what? Like, let me ask you a question. What do you eat when you're here? Like, what on the menu would you eat?" And he's like, he just looked around. He tried not to laugh because we didn't know each other that well, and I don't think he wanted to like disparage the fact that I was about to eat there. And he looked around and he was trying to hold back like a grimace and a laugh all in one. And there was a hesitance, and he couldn't look me in the eye. And this moment was about 2 or 3 seconds of silence. It felt like an eternity. And finally, he looked back up at me and he said, "Well, you know, sometimes I'll just have like a piece of grilled chicken." I'm like, "That's it?" Yeah, like a piece of grilled chicken. Yeah. Oof. And that was the last time I ever ate at an Applebee's. Not true. Not true. I did a DoorDash because it was open, and because I'm a dopey asshole. I did a DoorDash, and I was like, "Oh, I could just go to Trader Joe's and buy some microwavable shit. It would be better quality." And then I started doing exactly that. What's a DoorDash? It's Uber for lazy assholes.
Uber Eats for lazy asshole.
Yeah,
It's-
physics.
I did a DoorDash once. Never again.
Yeah.
It was I think it was called DoorDash. Oh no, hold on, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of like Red Spoon or something stupid like.
Red Bib?
No. I loved Red Bib for the 6 months.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Somebody else? No, not Postmate. I don't know. I remember it being red, like the logo, and it wasn't like you got specific stuff from a specific restaurant, which I think DoorDash does. It was just like one of those munchery kind of services where they just already have this food ready for you, and you just heat it and eat it. And it was just the junkiest service ever. Like, I had to go out to the street. Like, I live in an apartment complex, and I had to go down to the street and pick it up out of this guy's car. He's like, "Yeah, come and get it." Like, this is okay.
Delivery, and it's like a $3 service charge too.
Sure. Yeah. And
That's the
some
thing,
kinda-
like, you don't, you know, you could just get delivery from places near you for a couple extra bucks. This is too steep, you're not gonna make it up here. But yeah, it's expensive. Like the DoorDash shit is like, if you want to get White Castle delivered to your house, you can. But there's a $3 like fee for using the service, plus you also have to tip the guy. So you want to just go to White Castle yourself?
Yeah, I got the chili and it made me sick, so I never never got anything from that service again.
But do you have to tip him? I mean, don't be a jerk. No, you
Yeah,
don't
those
have.
guys-
You don't have to.
Those guys don't make much money.
Always makes me curious to know, like, what sort of naturally occurring plants and things that are just in your immediate area could you realistically survive off of? Like, if you didn't have grocery stores, like, what could you live off of without, you know, human advanced technology bringing it to you, like sod? Actually, no, I think eating grass is actually very bad for you. Because I remember an ex of mine just like went out into a parking lot and grabbed a bunch of rhubarb that was growing there and just made pie out of it. But that's the thing people do.
Why is that funny to me? What the fuck were you dating,
thought
dude?
It was hilarious. No, it's an actual thing. 'Cause rhubarb is very, is very common.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some fucking rhubarb out the ground and make a pie with it. I'll be right back, honey. Oh, that's fun. That's fantastic. Thank you for that story. I love it.
No, it is. No, it is funny, but it was a good pie, I will say.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some fucking scunions you could pull out the ground. That you know what I mean? Like, there's probably like wild scunions about that you could eat. Parking lot rhubarb pie.
Yep.
Ugh.
Decoy Octorog asks if I was dating someone from Stardew Valley.
Yeah, the wizard.
Like a quest in like a Harvest Moon game.
Scunions is a word I don't like, Ben. Why? What do you mean you don't like scunions? What? It's like moist. What is a rhubarb? That's a word I don't like very much. Along with like kumquat. There's some. I gotta say what you want about meat, and it would be valid. But there's some fucking weirdly named vegetables. You know, I'm not okay with rhubarb. I'm not okay with kumquat. It's just there's other ones out there. I don't know what they're doing with this shit.
Wait, wasn't kumquat a thing on the stream for a while where it's like if there's a situation that's really awkward but you don't want to admit it's awkward, just say kumquat and then
Kumquat,
everyone understands?
That's correct, yeah, that was a long time ago. Rutabaga? Yeah, get out of here with that shit.
I mean, cucumber is not exactly the best.
Also, we completed our objective, Dave. We did it. We made it back to our base. With, I guess...
With everything.
Yeah, even though... I'm trying to figure out why we did all that.
Retrieve your body, retrieve the track.
Yeah, I suppose. It was worth it. It was worth it.
And we know where where one of the teleport points are, and we know that we need a whole lot of energy.
Energy resources...
Also, I hate it when, you know, there's guacamole, which is actually guacamole, but people abbreviate it to just guac. So, like, I'm at Chipotle or something, people are like, can you put some guac on it? Some guac? And, like, in Minnesota, there's a lot of really nasally voices, so it's, like, the most nasally form of guac you can ever imagine. And that's another word I can't stand, this abbreviated guacamole.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Whack. It's like you're not a duck, just say the full word.
Yeah, maybe Scoot or ducks in general are actually using an abbreviated version of the sound that they normally make. Is it quackamole?
Get out of here. The fuck, man? Between that, the rhubarb story, what is going on?
I've got stories.
Wait, did you just get an achievement?
I got an Achievo, yeah.
What the hell
I just
was
made
that?
tungsten, so
For
I think
smelting.
that, yeah, I must have given you guys a Chivo.
Good, we need tungsten. That's the next big one.
Tungsten's another word I don't like.
Sounds like a British last name.
Sounds like a way of kissing Stan.
It sounds like a
Yes.
sentient, like, living, walking tongue with legs and like, arms.
So I bet the original word was a tongue stone, and then like in British English, they just shortened it down to tungsten. You know, it's not Lincolnshire, it's Lincolnshire. It's not tungstone, it's tungsten.
Well, yes, this is Lincolnshire. 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 Alright. This has become a weird stream. Well, I guess it's always been a weird stream. I think I'm gonna do some Baba now, though. I think I'm about ready for Bob.
We're always ready for Bob's.
We'll talk about Star Trek next time.
Wait, Star Trek? What do you want to talk about with Star Trek?
No, I'm saving it now.
No, tell me.
I watched one of the season 1 episodes recently. And,
Of what show? In
TNG.
TNG? Okay.
And, I can't remember a lot of TNG's season 1 or 2 because I think I watched those when I was like 6 or 8. I don't know. So if I ever saw this episode, I can't remember. But we were making jokes back when the first season of the Orville was coming out about which episodes of TNG they reminded us of. And there was the episode where they were trying to get 2 different species to make peace. This is on the Orville. And, you know, the whole plot is kind of revolving around that. And in the end, they make the peace.
This is the season 2 episode, the recent one, right?
No. This is the season 1 episode. It was
Okay,
the one
never
with
mind.
Derulio, the blue alien. and
Right.
pheromone
Derulio,
bullshit.
he shoots like cum on the captain's face.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so
Like blue space cum. It's fine, chat. Don't worry about it. It's allowed on network TV. Go ahead, continue.
it was out of Rob Lowe's forehead, so it's perfect. So you know, in that episode of the Orville, I didn't think that there was any TNG references for the 2 alien species and what was going on there. But it turns out, in a season 1 episode of TNG, it was a B plot in the first episode where Data becomes Sherlock Holmes when he first has his interest, because Picard mentions it. Even though it was a B plot, the episode ends. Picard comes back from whatever bullshit happened to him, and what's her name? It's totally Denise Crosby. I don't know why I'm not remembering the name of the character, but she comes in. She's like, one of the alien species. There was a pool of blood outside of their door, and something that looked like the other alien species was presented to the chef. And it just turns into like Picard looking at number 1 and being like, Riker, you take care of this. And then he just walks away. And it does like the goofy music, and that's the end of the episode. So like, there was never any peace. One of the alien species just tried to eat the other.
You know, the worst part is, throughout all of that, while you were explaining, I don't remember that episode, just to let you know, because I don't rewatch season 1 if I can help it. But what I'm going to be doing, though, is, this whole time while you were saying that, I'm sorry for this, is I typed Orville Rob Lowe Squirt, and I found something. Chat, I'm
Alright.
sorry in advance. So that was on network TV. That's fine. It's just blue. It's fine. It's this is season 1 thing, and that's the. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me about that. And I again, I don't want to be reminded of season 1 of TNG, but the blue goo shoot, that was cool. Thanks. Google's going to be tailoring very specific and strange ads at me for the next couple weeks. Rob Lowe Squirt. Did you mean Rob Lowe Squirt? All right. Well, anyway,
Just squoits it out.
it was good. I mean,
You
in
know.
the episode, it made sense. It was actually like there was a plot point to it, kind of. Well, season 1 was goofy. This season's been a lot more tempered with its gross out humor. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this now because this is we've got blue squirt. The base is coming along. This planet kind of sucks, but it's fun. We'll do more Astroneer when I get back from Boston. So I'm gonna save here. When you guys are ready, I can get out of here.
I'm ready.
I have like 15 more seconds on my tungsten production. So
1,
I have
2,
oh no. Oh
3.
no. You just ruined chat.
I can count like Vinny, they say.
Okay, it's done now. I was just making medium generator, so now whenever the next time we play this, I can almost immediately power up the entire moon relay thing, and then we can get to the core right away.
Cool. All right. Well, that'll be next time. So, for now, though, we're gonna stop here. I'm gonna play some Baba Is You, and there will be a break first. So, Mono, thank you for joining me today,
No problem.
and Mono 2, aka Dave 1, thank you for joining me today. This is where you say thank you, Vin.
Oh, I was so confused by what Mono 2 was. Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. I'll see you later. Bye, guys. All right, chat. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll do more Astroneer soon. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Baba Is You up next. Final Baba stream, potentially. Stick around. Splort.